Artificial intelligence, or AI, is here to stay. Its role is growing exponentially in our lives every day. But AI's role also is rapidly growing among fleets and really the entire transportation industry. And AI can help fleets in a variety of ways, but for today, let's explore how all this new technology can improve driver and fleet safety. For the answers, let's turn to Dr. Stefan Heck, founder and CEO of Nauto, the AI-enabled driver and fleet safety platform that can predict, prevent, and reduce high-risk events in the mobility ecosystem.
So AI improves fleet safety in three ways. The first and most important is it can help avoid collisions. AI can see dangers from the ordinary everyday, you're coming up on a stop sign or a red traffic light or a light that just turned red, to the more unusual but even more dangerous. There's a vehicle braking in front of you, or there's a pedestrian crossing in front of you. And also to risks that happen on the inside of the cab, right? The driver is falling asleep or starting to nod off. Maybe they're not asleep yet, but they're yawning, stretching themselves. Or, as happened very frequently, they're tempted by, a ping on their watch or cell phone text that they're getting to look at their phone. All of those situations can be detected in real time by AI, and the driver can get a nudge or a warning, or in the most urgent cases, a collision alert that gives them 4 or 5 seconds to still change the outcome. So that's the most important use of AI. Right now, you can get it both as an AI aftermarket safety system, like an AI dash cam. You can also get it built into many of the newer model vans and trucks, either as a camera, computer vision-based system, or as a radar-based system. And all of those are being processed by AI. It's not really, you're not directly interacting with the AI as such, so the AI is kind of embedded in the system, but it's processing to understand. One of the things that we do at Nauto that's very powerful is we're applying AI also to assessing the whole situation. So it's not just individual risk factors like I described, but the risk starts to go up dramatically more when there's combinations. So let's say the light's turning red, that's causing a pedestrian to start crossing the street, and you're talking on your phone at the same time. That combination is about 2,000 or 3,000 times more dangerous than normal driving. And so that's where you really want to be super careful and get your eyes back on the road, or slow down, or both, and make sure you don't hit that pedestrian that's about to cross because the light turned green for them. The second great use of AI is in understanding where the risk is, and that can be a location. Certain intersections are very dangerous. Certain on-ramps are very dangerous. We see out here in California, some on-ramps are 1,000 times more dangerous than other on-ramps. So wouldn't you like to know that getting off one exit later can actually be substantially safer? It can also tell you by time of day. We know statistically most collisions happen in the late afternoon and then after dark. Those are the two risky periods: afternoon rush hour and then late evening. But it's much more individual by location as well, right? Some places get crowded during the middle of the day. It can also be a particular driver and a particular risk. We see that most drivers are tempted by their smartphones, but a much smaller percentage of drivers speed. A very small percentage of drivers run stop signs, sometimes because they need glasses or have eyesight issues. And only about 1.5% of drivers really have drowsiness issues. And so for those drivers, drowsiness is their top risk. But once they know, hey, I have a drowsiness problem, they can go get help, right? Making sure they're sleeping better and coming well rested. And so that's the second use of AI, which is really as an analytical tool to take these mountains of driving data, mountains of heartbreaking near-miss events, etc., and slice through all that and say, here's the 6 things you got to pay attention to, right? It's this intersection, it's this driver needs coaching on this, and your biggest problem is in this location in the country. The third one is when you're actually having a collision. And of course, everybody knows if you've got telematics and a video record of the collision, you can exonerate yourself. And I think that's good and that's important, because if you're driving commercially, 80% of the time it's not your fault. And so if you have proof, hey, it's not my fault, that's hugely valuable. But AI can do another thing on top of that, which is process what happened in the collision almost immediately. It takes only a minute or two. and you can get a notification to the fleet to say, hey, this is an emergency, this guy needs help. You can get a notification to emergency services, and they can get the link of knowing, is there somebody injured? Do they need to call a tow truck? And if you act in that first hour after a collision, you can save most people's lives. So, something that if you catch it right away, get to a hospital, can result only in a minor injury that heals, can be major and cause lifelong consequences if you don't get to it right away. And also, for that same reason, even if you're at fault, if the AI says somebody got hurt and you get an ambulance right away, you can dramatically reduce your liability in that case. And even for a driver, that's a huge difference. If the driver winds up permanently disabling somebody or killing somebody, that's a really, really traumatic, stressful experience. Versus having a collision, somebody goes to a hospital, gets treated, but walks away. That's a much, much better outcome for everybody. So AI as prevention for collisions, AI as understanding risk, either in your own behaviors or across the whole fleet operation, and then AI as a tool for faster resolution of collisions so you can get to the right response. Yeah, for fleet managers, usually AI just sounds scary. The reality is, we're all interacting with AI all the time, right? Every time you use Siri or you go look up something on Google, you're in fact interacting with AI. It seems natural. You're just talking, it's voice. Every time you call an airline or any kind of bank system, you're interacting with AI, right? And some of them are still very basic, right? They ask you to repeat or I can't hear you. Some of them are very sophisticated. I was in a hotel yesterday where you call up the concierge and you're actually talking to an AI system that says, what would you like help with? And then automatically routes you to the right department. It's pretty impressive. So first advice I would have is, ask what the AI is doing. Don't just be afraid of AI as a category, right? AI has many, many great uses. It's a super powerful tool. There definitely are dangers to AI if it's misused, so I don't want to minimize that. But the right question is really, is it being recorded? Where's the data going? What use is it being put to? Not is there AI or not. So as a fleet manager, AI can help you prevent collisions, can warn you, can surface risks for you, can make your life easier because it's digesting all this data around your fleet operations and says, here are the 3 things you got to look at today. And that's a big time savings. People also worry about, will AI replace, human jobs? And I think that's a mixed story. There certainly are some repetitive, read a lot of text, do something over and over again, that I think AI is threatening and will ultimately replace in many cases. So that's a danger. But there's a lot more jobs where AI becomes a tool. If you're a radiologist reading x-rays, the AI will pre-process the x-ray for you, but you still need a doctor's judgment to know, right? Same thing for fleet safety. AI will reduce collisions, will address a lot of concerns, but you still need somebody to look out and think strategically for safety for the fleet and make decisions. And then the last part is, how are you really using the AI? And that's where it's important for the fleet management to be involved in the selection. It's not always easy to know which AI is better. A lot of fleets I see wrestle with this. Like, they start with a simple question of, does it have AI or not? And the box now always says, check, we have AI. But what does that really mean? So you got to go back to your expertise and knowledge and ask tougher questions. What is it preventing? Is it preventing collisions? Is it making my drivers better? Does it work at night? Does it work automatically? How accurate is it? Those are the kinds of questions you should be asking of AI, which is not that different from when you're interviewing a driver, right? How many years of experience do you have? How many collisions have you had? What are some good examples of things you've done? So don't be intimidated by AI. Ask probing questions about what it's doing for you and what it's supposed to do for you, and you'll get to a good outcome.